Hi there. Welcome back. I'm Cherry. This is my little corner of the internet, and I am going to try my very best to keep control over the chaos today because I have a notebook. This is the first time I'm doing a lot of things over here on YouTube, even though I've been streaming on Twitch for quite a bit. I have only started incorporating books and reading into my work since last year, really, or maybe the year before, but only since the last few months I've actually really put my hard into it, feeling not guilty because it, it's a long story, but I have a lot of guilt when it comes to sitting down and reading. And this has been so therapeutic. And I just need to know what some of my favorite new authors are going to do in the future. Coincidentally, when I went through the books I read this year and last year just to see what are the current authors, I got my stack. These are some of my favorites from the last year or two, and I really tried to go around and make it as diverse as possible, but alas, somehow I have ended up with a list that is exclusively women authors. So I don't know what that means, but I think that is a very interesting development because I genuinely didn't do that on purpose. I just, I wish Terry Miles would come out with a third Rabbits book, for example, or a new Paul Lynch book, just to name a few names. But this is what I've ended up with. So let's start at the end of the year because I want to be able to look into the future as far as possible and be able to say, whatever happens, at least this is in the future. And that means we are going to start with The Wretched Divine by Adeline Grace. Now, I have only read Belladonna from the series. I do have the other two books of the trilogy ready, but I am reading this as a buddy read, so I am waiting until my bestie has time because I have more time than Superwoman over there has. So I don't know when I'll be able to continue the series, which means that the Wretched Divine is I'm on it. It's a new series. It's going to be the first book in a new series, and it's supposed to be published on October 6th. It's expected on October 6th. And this is what Goodreads has to say about the Wretched Divine. Aureli Chantalun was born to serve. Raised as a knight in a kingdom ravaged by demons, she spent her life honing her blade, driven by the memory of the monsters who tore her family apart and by the knowledge that she's one of the few who can stop them. If Aureli can claim her first kill, she'll inherit a legacy passed down from the Chantalun bloodline, a soul bond with Uriel, an angel whose power is vital to her kingdom's survival. But when those she loves begin turning into the very monsters she's sworn to destroy, Aureli is forced to seek help from the last place she ever imagined. Desperate, she forges a second and far more dangerous bond with Severin, a demon she can hardly trust, but who claims to know how to end the war for good. With their lives and fates intertwined, Aureli, Uriel, and Severin must team up to hunt down a cure capable of turning demons back into humans. But the more they learn about one another and the deeper their relationships grow, the more Aureli begins to question the war and their place in it. Of both of her bonding on opposing sides, she'll have to make a choice: continue to stand with the angels or risk everything by trusting a demon. Oh no. Well, as you can probably deduce, it's a romantasy. There's demons, and it's an adult fantasy. Yeah, it says fantasy, romantasy, adult, fantasy, romance, demons, high fantasy, book club, paranormal angels. Expected to be released in October. I love the way Adeline Grace writes. I think that her prose is really pretty and her ideas are creative, I feel like. Now, I mean, angels, demons, it's a tale all this time. I know this, but I think that Adeline Grace has it in her to make something interesting of this. So, October, the cover is yet to be revealed. I feel good about this one. That is The Wretched Divine by Adeline Grace. Moving closer to today, we have expected on September 1st by R.F. Kuang, Taipei Story. I know there is a lot to be said about this author, but I personally love the way she writes and I love to learn new things. I don't think it's redundant. I don't think she's too much in your face. She could learn a little bit by holding back, maybe, but personally, especially Babel, I love the footnotes. I devoured them and I had a lot of fun reading this. I haven't read everything by R.F. Kuang just yet, but I am looking forward to this one. Let's see what Goodreads has to say about a Taipei Story. College freshman Lily Chen is off to spend the summer in Taipei at an intensive language program like so many Chinese American students before her, hoping to connect with the culture she inherited but never fully understood. But a promising start quickly unravels. Her classes are grueling, her roommate is driving her insane, and a reckless trip to the hot springs with a guy she barely knows soon has her classmates viciously gossiping. She feels adrift, a foreigner in a country she thought would feel like home. Then shocking news arrives. Lily's grandfather has passed away. The loss forces her to grapple with with now unanswerable questions about her family history. As Lily grieves, she's drawn into a journey of self-discovery, piecing together memories, stories, and silences over a series of hilarious and devastating attempts at connection. Taipei Story asks, what if the diaspora fantasy of homecoming never comes true? What if learning a language can't bring you any closer to the people you're trying to reach? What if you reach for your family's history, but your family doesn't want to share? What if you wait too long to ask the right questions? As Lily struggles for answers, her summer becomes a poignant search for understanding of herself, her family, and the meaning of home. I think I will connect with this story quite a bit. I love language, and I think language is beautiful and a way to connect with people, not just communicate, but connect by learning odd words that only have meaning in a certain language. Like in Dutch, we have this concept of uitwaaien, which means to go literally. It just means going outside to let the wind just knock you about a bit so that you come home feeling refreshed and like your troubles have been blown away. The ideal version of uitwaaien is going to the beach and do that, but most people will just have to do with going outside. But this is something you can do anywhere in the world. But as far as I know, we are the only country with a word for this specific thing. Please correct me if I'm wrong. If you have one in your language, I'm dying to know. If you have a love for language and you learn that it doesn't matter if you are able to speak the language, you're still an outcast. I know how that feels. I know how that feels. It's an adult contemporary romance, literary fiction. There is also fantasy attached to it. It's R.F. Kuang, after all. But I think this is going to be a confronting, but I like a challenge, and the universe likes to bully me with that. But I like a challenge, and I think this is a book that will be challenging in the best way. To me, at least, I love being pushed and helped to learn more about myself through stories like these. So I'm really looking forward to this. Expected at the beginning of September, Taipei Story by R.F. Kwan. Next up, we have Dreamland by Olivia Blake. I loved Along with You in the Ether. It was short and sweet, beautiful prose, and I just like the voice of this author. Now, this was the only thing I read of this author until I stumbled across this little gem in the library, and I am planning on reading this uh, before I have to return it. Actually, so by the time Dreamland will come out in August, it's expected on the 18th. I will hopefully have a little bit more knowledge on what this author feels like to read. I hope that makes sense. Right, let's see what Dreamland is about. I hope this is the actual cover because it's beautiful. I love it. The headlines are calling it the summer of exsanguination. Oh no, wait. The headlines are calling it the summer of exsanguination. Exsanguination. The headlines are calling it the summer of exsanguination. In LA, girls are being murdered. The Santa Ana winds are blowing a strange energy into the city, and all signs point to a fire season. But Anya Morris has other things to worry about, like whatever it takes to get a foot in the door of an unfeeling, ever-changing industry after losing the TV plot that should have been her big break. Enter William DeWitt, a movie star of generational acclaim who poses and his son. There's a mistake here. Who poses and his son? What? Jude has a rare condition that forces him into a reclusive lifestyle. I don't know what that is. Can someone tell me what that? In exchange for spending time with him, Anya will gain entry to Hollywood's most powerful circles. Just like that, a world of money, access, and industry clout sprawls at Anya's feet. Feet. Like the city below, the mysterious DeWitt villa in the hills. But behind the gilded veneer of fame lies decades of bloodstained secrets, and it just may be that an occult family lives within the villa's walls. Or within Jude himself? Oh, okay. There's a dark magnetism to Jude that Anya can't resist. Of course, despite warning signs that scream that like sirens in the night. And as the murders across the city continue to ratchet up with the summer heat, something has to give. There's smoke in the air, but who will be the one to strike the match? It's a gothic mystery thriller, contemporary suspense horror. It's expected to be released somewhere around the middle of August. Dreamland by Olivia Blake. Now, I hate summer. I hate summer. That's not a joke. I hate it. It's too bright. It's blue. The days take forever. I am a winter person. I need cozy. I need darkness. So having a gothic novel, but with summer, that's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to this one. Speaking of summer, though, unfortunately, we will have to go through it, whether we like it or not. So, luckily, I've got something to look forward to this year, which is a book by Jessica Knoll, Helpless. It's expected to be released in the beginning of July, 7th of July. And before I forget to mention it, if you are living in the US, you could enter a giveaway for Jessica Knoll's Helpless on Goodreads. But I don't. So please do it for me and let me know if you win. I read Bright Young Women last year. I wasn't aware that the inspiration for the happenings were actually taken from real life. I think this is such an important story. It's not like it's a story that is impossible to think of, and you may even say that it's sort of lazy because she's pulling from real life events. But actually, I think that we don't talk enough about the collateral damage of a monster like Ted Bundy. So at the moment I clocked it, I was like, oh my god, I was already in love with this whole story and the way it's written and the representation for trauma. It's an amazing book, and I am struggling to find words to even express what I felt when I was reading it. I loved it, which is an odd thing to say when talking about a book about like bright young women, but here we are. I have fallen in love with that author immediately, and I need to read more now. And luckily, my summer will be alleviated with the release of Helpless. So let's see what this is about. It's been 12 years since Faye Heron broke Henry Spalding's heart. Henry was her college boyfriend, her first intense love, but Faye was in danger of being subsumed by him. Now Faye is one half of a power-producing duo with her Hollywood husband. Henry is a married father running the family business. Both of their lives have essentially gone to plan. When a former and beloved college professor suddenly passes away, Faye and Henry find themselves back on campus for the funeral, circling something old and dangerous. Something, if Faye is honest with herself, she has been trying to duplicate for years. But Henry is just one of a kind. The kind who delivers a hypnotic apology for the way things ended. The kind who suggests they go back to the hotel for a drink. The kind who drugs and kidnaps her. As her week of captivity unfolds, Henry's wanton demands intensify, and a sprawling years old mystery begins to take shape, one that will rewrite history as Faye remembers it and reveal an astounding cataclysmic truth. There is a cat hair sticking out. I'm sorry, it was annoying me. Clearly, this is a thriller, mystery thriller, horror, and I'm here for it. I am so here for it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine your first love turns out to be some kind of what is it? Is this based on another true story as well? I can't see anything about it. I don't know. Is it? It's a psychological thriller, a singular, mind-bending last page. Last page? Why are you teasing me with the last page if it's not even? That's mean. That's mean. Helpless by Jessica Knoll will be released somewhere in July, hopefully, because I need a break from the summer heat. Instead of looking forward to the summer and relentless heat, I will be looking forward to Helpless. Moving ever backwards in time, we have arrived in June. In June, I want to say the love of my life, but that sounds very silly. But the love of my reading life, Catherine Arden, is coming out with The Unicorn Hunters. You may recognize Catherine Arden from The Bear and the Nightingale, the Winter Trilogy, which is a retelling of Russian folklore and myths. This one mostly revolving around Jack Frost. And this felt so authentically Russian to me that I just didn't believe that Arden wasn't actually Russian herself. I have also read The Warm Hands of Ghosts last year, which took us to the battlefronts of the Second World War, which is completely different from The Bear and the Nightingale. So I am so impressed with this author already. I don't need to know what the Unicorn Hunters are about. I just know that I've written it in my calendar, June 2nd. This should be out. If not, I need to start writing emails because I need this. Of all the books that I'm talking about today, this is the one. This is the one that I'm looking forward to the most. So let's see. Anne of Brittany was a child when her realm was invaded, her home besieged, and her royal father driven to his death. Now her treasury is empty, her land occupied by her enemies, and she is ordered, under threat of renewed war, to become queen of her conquerors and marry the king of France. The marriage means their country's annexation, but Anne promised her father that Brittany would never be conquered. Defiantly, she betroths herself in secret to France's greatest enemy. But in a world where courts may spy on each other by magic, there is only one way to solemnize this illicit union. Anne takes her court deep into a legendary forest, where the court diviner's skill cannot reach. The world thinks they are only a hunting party, coursing after unicorns, but that's a lie, a trick, a feint. No one in living memory has seen a unicorn. All Anne wants is this secret wedding, which is her only hope of salvation. But when against all hope a unicorn appears and the stranger out of legend stumbles from the trees and falls at her feet, Anne is plunged into a world of enchantment where a doomed sovereign might find the power to change her own and her country's destiny, or be lost in the shadows forever. Ah, I love this. I love this. I'm so excited. This is really, I'm going to forgive Summer this year for showing up because I, ah, I can't even put into words how excited I am. It's a historical fiction fantasy, science fiction, fae. June 2nd, The Unicorn Hunters. And suddenly we have arrived in April. In April, Evelyn Clark is expected to release a book. Now, who is Evelyn Clark? I've never heard of this person, let alone of the book that is supposed to be coming out. The ending writes itself. Mystery thriller, contemporary. So let's see what this mystery is about, and then we'll get into the author for a little bit. 6 authors, one private island, 72 hours to write the ending that will change their lives. Arthur Fletch, one of the world's best-selling novelists, is a reclusive genius known for his iconic protagonist and finest twists. When 6 struggling authors are invited to spend a weekend on his private Scottish island, they arrive to discover a shocking secret. Arthur Fletch is dead, and his last book is unfinished. Despite desperate to publish the novel, Fletch's agent and editor have summoned these writers in the hope that one of them will imagine a worthy ending of this final book. To sweeten the deal, they are offering an irresistible price. In addition to ghostwriting the last chapter for a mind-boggling sum, they will also help the lucky writers successfully relaunch their own career, guaranteeing future bestsellers. The catch: the writers have just 72 hours to finish Fletch's magnum opus. Starting is often the hardest part, but getting to the end could be murder. Interesting, interesting. It's a murder mystery if you hadn't guessed it yet. And I think this is so fascinating. If you haven't got on yet, Evelyn Clark is not one person. It's 2 persons. It's a collaboration between Kat Clark and V.E. Schwab. Mm, I haven't completely looked into Kat Clark, but as far as I could see, she is a scriptwriter. As this is the first year that I'm actively looking at this information, trying to find out whether there's books coming out in the year that I'm looking forward to. I really never used to do that. So I am not really up to date on the story behind this, but I do feel like it's happening a lot more lately that authors are collaborating. I hope that the ending writes itself isn't like a I don't know actually. I don't know. I don't know what to expect of this. I love the idea, but I'm just uncertain how I feel about collaborations like this. So we'll have to see. April, the ending writes itself by Evelyn Clark, aka V.E. Schwab and Kat Clark. And then we have arrived right here, right now, in January. And just a few days from now, Samantha Soto Yambo is going to be releasing the Elsewhere Express. I cannot. I cannot deal with this cover. It's so beautiful. If only I'm a sucker for good covers. A water moon. If the title, loved it. Water moon, water moon. Just the art. I love it. The art is gorgeous. I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I'm really fed up with the really cartoonish, bright, uh, rom com kind of. I don't know. It was fun for a little bit, but I'm really over it right now, and I am really being drawn towards stuff, covers like this. I just finished the Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan, and just look at that. Look, what is that? This is a retelling inspired by the Mid Autumn Legend. I love that it says what kind of retelling this is. I don't even think Arden had that on the cover, right? No, I really appreciate that it says on the cover that it's a retelling inspired by the Mid Autumn Legend. Anyway, I'm sorry, I digress. We were talking about Yambao, Samantha Soto Yambao, the Elsewhere Express, which is expected to be released in just a few days on January 20th. So let's get into it. When you lose your way in life, the Elsewhere Express just might find you. Step aboard the train that can take you to your life's purpose in this cozy and inspiring fantasy from the nationally best-selling author of Water Moon. You can buy a ticket for the Elsewhere Express, appearing only to those whose lives are adrift. It's a magical train carrying very rare and special cargo, a sense of purpose, peace, and belonging. Raya is one of those lost souls. She had dreamed of being a songwriter, but when her brother died, she gave up on her dream and started living his instead. One day, on the subway, as her thoughts wander, she swept off to the Elsewhere Express. There she meets Q, a charming, handsome artist who, like her, has lost his place in the world. Together, they find a train full of wonders, from a boarding car that's also a meadow to a dining car where passengers can picnic on lily pads. I want that. To a bar where jellyfish and whales swim through pink clouds. Pink clouds. But they also discover that the train harbors secrets and danger. A mysterious stranger has stowed away and brought with him a dark, malignant magic that threatens to destroy the train. But in investigating the stowaway's identity, Raya also finds herself drawing closer to the ultimate question: what is her life's true purpose? And might Q be connected to it? It's a cozy fantasy, magical realism, romance. It's everything I need and want and desire from a story right now, because I don't know, man. I just want whimsy this year. That's all I want. I'm okay. I don't need no goals aside from reading my books and just add a little whimsy, maybe. That was all. Those are the 7 books that I am looking forward to for now, at least. Again, I didn't realize they were all female authors until the very end, until I stacked them all together, and I looked at my little page at my note, and I don't know. I just realized that they're all women. How did I do that? It's not like I only read female authors. Terry Mile. Oh, there are a lot of women here. I really didn't realize. That's so interesting. I'm gonna go look into that a little bit more. Fascinating. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of my new traditions, whether I make a video about it or not. I think this is good. I needed this. I don't know. Times are hard, and I cry a lot about stupid, silly things. And I think, especially in times like these, we need small things to look forward to and hold on to. And I know the books aren't silly at all. They're my life. They're my lifeline. But I never did this before, and if you don't either, I recommend doing it for one. You shouldn't need a reason to ever think about books, right? But if you're feeling lost, like I do quite a bit, and you need a little bit of magic in your life, I would say look at the books you've read and the authors that you've loved and see if they have something new coming out, or maybe there's a backlog that you aren't aware of. I wrote everything in my calendar, so I cannot forget about these books coming out. Thank you so much for being here. I am so honored that you decided to spend a little bit of your day with me today. If you have more titles, more authors to look forward to, please let me know. I am desperate for just anything to hold on to this year. I need books and whimsy and cozy and mystery and everything. I want all the books. So yeah, thank you for being here. I hope to see you very soon.